You are listening to Not on the Payroll right here at 107.3 FM KJAS. We have the privilege of sitting down and chatting today with Sheriff Robert Burby over here in Newton County. He is the sheriff here for the county. Sheriff Burby, we appreciate you taking time with us, man. And how's life been treating you?
Wow, I'm very blessed. My wife and I, she's doing well. Recovering from a major surgery back about 9 months ago, and a lot of prayers went up to her and out to her, for her and me as well. We want to thank the public for that, and the many people who inquired about how she's doing and everything. So she's doing very well, and we're blessed.
So she's on the mend.
Yeah, she's on the mend and everything, and I'm very proud to see her having a positive attitude on her recovery, and she's always been stronger than me when it comes to that kind of stuff and everything. So we're getting back to what some kind of semblance of normality.
There you
go. And everything. She's been very supportive of
good.
Me over the years, and allowed me to sometimes get over invested in my job, but I have learned how to be better at what I do and how I do things. I guess that comes with age and wisdom and everything. So thanks.
That's good. That's good. So just starting off here, give us kind of a brief overview of kind of the state of the county. I know, in some of the publications and things that you've put out here recently, you've talked about, some of the thefts and vehicle break-ins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are you guys really seeing?
Well, here recently here in around the city of Newton and outside in the county, it's break-ins or rummaging, vandalism in the cars that are unlocked. And a lot of times nothing was taken.
Really?
At one incident, there was some loose change and stuff like that. So that denotes there's possibly kids.
Right.
Another thing is that that's not just saying all of them were done by kids.
Right.
But I've always been a proponent of locking your vehicle and everything.
Sure.
Because what I've seen over the years that they have not broken out windows to get into a car. I've heard when I was a chief, one person told me, "Well, I don't want to lock my car because they'll break my window. Then I have to get it replaced." Well, these knuckleheads are lazy, and they gotta try your car. And if it's not locked, if it's not unlocked, they go to the next car because they're gonna find something that's unlocked.
Sure.
And I've seen that. That's why you always have so many in one area, because most of the time they're unlocked.
Right.
And they're not gonna spend the time to try to break the window or sound off an alarm by breaking the window.
Sure.
So that said, we have collaborated with what's been stolen and everything. Theft is something that I want to combine with drug use, because you steal things and you either sell it or bought it for drugs. Sell it to get money to buy drugs, or you bought it to get drugs. Over the past, there's many search warrants, narcotic search warrants that I went on, that we would find so much equipment, so many things that we know was stolen, but we could not prove that it was stolen. That's why I've always been on the campaign about log down your serial numbers or model numbers at least, so we can put them in the NCIC computer as stolen. And it works because we have recovered things that were stolen back in the 60s and 70s, early 70s.
Wow.
In other states. So it works, and it stays there until it's found. And plus two, you're able to, if that's the knucklehead who stole it, you got a suspect, or the person who have it, he can tell you where he got it from. So it helps all the way around. God forbid if you get stuff stolen. I don't want that to happen. I really want to be able to give people their things back, because it's their hard work that earnings that buy these things. And on top of that, people feel victimized and their privacy interrupted when someone comes in and steal from their property. Just being there that makes them feel uncomfortable. So, as always, I put it in the crime notes that these things that happen, be on the lookout, call us. Even in our neighborhood, I saw a suspicious vehicle and ended up running that person down, well, finding out why he was there and everything. So it's a lot of things that we do that doesn't reach the level of crime,
right?
But it's crime prevention. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
now, not to dig off into details of that situation, but was it a car parked in behind some trees?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Me and my wife saw the same car. We were like, what's happening here? Because but and then later on that day, I think it looked like they had taken a little mini X or something and raked a little trench out where people can't go through.
I got in touch with the property owner and told him about it, and we worked together to rectify that situation.
Yeah, that's good.
So
another thing that you could tell us about is the Blue Line Advocates. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because I got a whole paragraph. The Blue Line Advocates is a component of our VIP program, which is a community policing arm of the Newton County Sheriff's Office. They selected the Blue Line Advocates as their title. They're a group of folks that is in place to help us out during emergencies, man-made or natural area, and to help us out on special events. They are organized where they have their structuring in place, and you're going to be hearing a lot from them in the near future. They're going to be at the Purple Hub Pea Festival in Shankerville on the 25th of June, selling, I think, popcorn balls. And also they are going to help out in this upcoming, I call it a horse camp, equine therapy for the kids of this summer camp. Normally they have one in Jasper, and I went to it last year at Champion Oaks Ranch with the juvenile probation office. And I went last year and I told Mr. Barnes, I said, I want to bring that to Newton. Yeah. And I was looking for maybe next year, but he called me about a week or so ago and said, hey, we can bring it this year. So just to give you the highlights of that, and you'll be seeing more put out real soon. It's going to be July 19th, 20th, 21st, I think the 22nd at the fairground from 9 to 12. Okay. And this is a program. The mission is to provide an ethical, positive, Christian-based skill set to individuals and families who desire to lead a more productive, positive, and healthy life at home and in their communities through professional, guided interactions with horses. Being a horse guy, I know exactly what that means. But these kids get a chance to interact with the horses and do several different things during this camp, as well as listen to professionals from various walks of life, for instance, first responders and teachers, educators, and this is going to be a collaborative effort with folks here in Newton and Jasper. Or the school system is independent school system is going to be involved. We're going to be reaching out to get applicants for that. We're looking about 15 kids, and the ages range from like 13 to 17. Okay. We are kind of flexible to slide that up or down in certain areas to accommodate a good interaction, a good camp for these kids, because in the summertime, there's really not a whole lot to do and everything, and we're just trying to add one more element trying to help in the development of our kids. So you asked me about the Blue Line Advocates, and I got off on my horse
You went to
camp
horses.
because I wanted to get that in too, because they're
yeah.
going to be a part of it as
that's
well, providing the refreshments, and we'll have breakfast and lunch there on those days, and have them there to assist in just keeping things going. So that's one of their mission statements to help us out. And that's one of the things that the sheriff's office do as well.
Sure.
Is trying to be preventive and help to nurture kids as well as they grow up and encounter the many challenges of life.
Yeah.
And everything. So that's what it's all about.
Very cool. Very cool. So once again, being directly involved in some outreach in the community. I mean, that was one of the things we was talking about last time, you know.
Man, I tell you, man, there's no better feeling to know that you're doing something positive to help folks.
Right.
You know, and the same thing if you're gonna make a difference, you're gonna make it with the kids.
Right.
Now, another thing too, when it comes to law enforcement, the general public don't know that most all cops, they love to solve a case, and it takes time sometimes. If it didn't happen right in front of us,
yeah,
it's going to be investigated. It's going to have to be investigated before we can provide the necessary charges, if any. Because sometimes you can't get a charge because no law was broken, or whatever different things show up in your investigation. But at least you got the investigation, and you're trying to help and do your due diligence in bringing these justice to those families. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I've always told my people, you know, it is documentation is going to make or break a case. And we got to always document the very small elements of what we find or didn't find, because in the future, you know, it could pay a large dividend in getting something done.
Everything could hinge on that one small detail.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell the public, see something, say something.
Right.
Call us.
Yeah.
You know, because we got calls on that vehicle that was parked over there on that lot. And I came in and work, and I saw it, and I called those folks, and I told them, look here, I'm already taking care of it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That's good. So I know last time when we talked, you were still having to outsource people over to some other counties. You still doing that?
Still doing that. My hat's off. I'm not wearing a hat today, but you know, your people in an organization, in this organization especially, they work their hind end off.
Right.
There's a lot of work being done, and that's what we're here for, to work. And that's why I tell them, hey, we're not bored. You're not going to be bored. And if you get bored, let me know. I'll find you something to do. But on the jail side of it, we have a contract with Jasper Sheriff's Office to house our prisoners. We have one with Polk County, but they had some issues in personnel and COVID, so we hadn't had any there for over a year. We currently have about 7 over at Jasper. It changed daily. It changed hourly. And I have one contract with Galveston County. Why Galveston County? Well, because they can house some of our serious offenders,
right?
That we can't, for whatever reason, house here or Jasper.
Right.
And they're kind of overflow from Jasper. Why so far? Hey, this is state of Texas. It doesn't matter. We are in a neighborhood, whereas we have to go to where they say the cells are, because we transport prisoners all over the great state of Texas. A lot of folks don't understand that or know that, and it's not just a regional thing. It all depends on what level incarceration that they meet
Yeah.
once they get sentenced and
Interesting.
everything. And that
Yeah.
also, yes, that
I don't think, I mean, because to me, I mean, just the layman out here, I don't think they really even consider that either. Because I mean, like myself, I mean, you're saying that, and I'm thinking, you know, you really you don't think about what happens, you know, to get those guys in, you know, a higher, a more secure facility,
Right.
you know, and that type of thing. I mean, obviously, Jasper can do what Jasper does, but you know, and you guys can do here what you can do. But once it kind of exceeds that, then what happens? So,
yeah, and when they get state time too, that's the ones that really would cause us to have to do some traveling. And like I said, we don't get a chance to pick where it's at. They tell us.
right.
That means the Texas Department, Criminal Justice, they tell us.
Okay.
TDC. We have gone since I've been in office. We've gone on the other side of Abilene,
Really?
taking a guy. Yes. And so up around Longview.
Pretty much anywhere. I mean, just
Right.
wherever you're being directed to go.
Mhm.
Then. So, are there any specific things outside of the camp? Obviously, we want to touch base back on that. We want to touch base on that before we get done here today. Again, just so everybody knows the dates and everything. But is there anything specific that you want to put out there to the public?
Sure. Like I say, the jail is always at capacity because we move them in, we move them out. And we're constantly have ongoing investigations of folks that once we get warrants for, we go get them and get them in jail. But I tell you what, we don't turn anyone down. Recently, DPS conducted a traffic task force last Friday, which we participated, and that was a good effort for DPS to be able to come over and do those things. We had I think it's 10 troopers there. So they did that, and I published that in my weekly report. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but it was
Briefly,
DPS, yeah. So we thank them for that, and as well as all the work that DPS is doing in Newton County and other surrounding counties. Because of their mission, you know, they have to go to the border, and they do our traffic and a host of other things. So remember, when you see them pull someone over, get over and give them a lane.
Yeah.
You know, because they're out there hard-working folks as well, and all law enforcement is, for that matter. But anyway, jail is always going to be top on our issue until we can get a adequate jail size for the things that we have here. Newton County is very unique, as I said. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of knuckleheads who travel through here who think they can come here and take advantage of us, and
Right.
that's just not the case, because we're gonna. They don't meet us soon; they'll meet us later. You know, the general public is tired of being victimized
Sure,
by these
I'm telling you,
knuckleheads.
man. People are
I
sick
mean,
of this mess, man.
that's why I work so hard, and my folks do as well to stay vigilant on these crimes that are committed, and most of them are related to the drug trafficking.
Yeah.
You know, family disputes is one thing, but stealing, burglarizing is another.
It's all surrounds.
All looped in together. And not only here, I talked to the other sheriffs and folks across the parish there and over in the Burby parish, and we all dealing with the same knuckleheads.
Sure. And
that's why it's incumbent on us to work hard and work together to make sure that we share information. Another thing, grants is something that a small county like here, Newton County, doesn't have the budget capacity to get large ticket items, as I'll call them. And for the most part, you know, the equipment that you really need, it costs a lot of money. For instance, case in point, ballistic shields. ballistic shields, which could withstand a rifle round, they cost $2,300. That's a lot of money, but that's something that you need. I'm applying for a grant to get a couple, one for up north and one for down south, to be ready.
Now, is this the type, just so I'm clear, is this the type of shield that you'd stand behind, kind of in like what you'd see in kind of a SWAT type situation, like downtown?
Right.
Those
one that can withstand a rifle round.
Yeah. Okay.
That means you don't have to wait around. You can go in and do what you need to do.
Right.
Body cameras, we have some new body cameras, state of the art, that we're waiting to get trained on to be able to use those. Another grant that I'm putting in for is equipment. Computers always cost money, and after a couple of years they need to be replaced. So equipment grant. We just changed uniforms. Hopefully we get approved for that equipment grant. We'll be able to charge our uniforms off on it. Hopefully we'll check and see if that meets the criteria, but the uniforms was not. I don't want the public to think that we went out and paid a whole lot of money. It's lightweight uniform and everything, and they came in less than what we normally pay on our other uniforms. So the deputies was very impressed with this uniform. We tested it for over a year and everything, and this dark color, the black, this is a universal law enforcement look color, and this is no hot. You walk out in the sun, I don't care what color you got on, it's hot.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm serious. Sure, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, that's true. That's the truth.
Yeah. So, community policing, crime prevention is something that we put in for a grant to help us out in certain aspects of that. So there's 2 grants that I'm waiting to hear back from that we put in for last year. One that we got body cameras. We got that. And like I said, we're getting ready to put in for a technology grant. So vehicles, it's hard to get vehicles. We hope to get 2 new vehicles before the end of the year, trucks that we've been trying to get since the beginning of the year. Other than that, business as usual. Business is good, business is steady.
So let me ask you something, because I know in the community there's been meetings, there's been talks, there's been things online, things on Facebook, specific to what's going on in the ambulance world. Have at this point, do you know if there's kind of a path forward? And I know it's not your lane, as you say.
Yeah, there is a path forward here lately, and I think the numbers will back me up on it. They've been doing a better job than insofar as response time. I haven't heard anything. Normally, when something is bad going on, you hear about it, but I haven't heard anything.
Right.
But there is some options out there and everything. But the options are out there, and one of the things I was telling one of the fire chiefs is that we're gonna have to, whatever we do, we being the county, we gotta educate the public on what we're trying to do and what
100%.
You tell them where we're at and where we're trying to go and how we're gonna get there. So there's no surprises, there's no misinterpretation, there's no misinformation and everything. And so that's, I think in Newton County, I think that's the way it's going to be from now on. Putting the information out, being as transparent as possible. Because I feel like there's no reason why you don't tell people what's going on.
Sure.
The only thing that we kind of hold back, we being law enforcement, is when we have confidential stuff, we don't want to hurt the investigation.
Sure.
We won't put the cart before the horse. But other than that, when it comes to money, the taxpayers need to know what we're trying to do and what we need to do it with, and everything, and they can chime in at that point before any decisions are made on that, and we can all, agree to disagree or find better options, because that's the way to go.
Yeah.
agree to or disagree,
Yeah.
or let's find a better option.
Right.
And everything. And till we check those options out and find out, hey, these are the options. Okay, now let's select one.
Yeah.
Let's select the best one for us.
Yeah.
Okay, and that we all can live with.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to go to the same place. We all want the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we just have a little different way of getting there.
Yeah, and no, I mean, you know, and in all honesty, I mean, the wait times and stuff like that. I know they struggle with the same thing over in Jasper County.
Right.
But you know, until those things are addressed, until people start sitting down and having a conversation, you know, a lot of these communities are riddled with division, and it almost seems like until they start sitting down, and that's one of the things I was thankful for of that meeting that they had up there in Burby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, you bring the community together. Let's talk it all out. Let's flush out the good ideas and the bad ideas, and let's try to start making some sort of path forward and move. You know, nobody wants to be in a situation where you're in a dire need and you're going to have to wait an hour for an ambulance.
Right.
Nobody wants that. Nobody, not even the ambulance. The ambulance companies don't want that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but nonetheless, man, go back to the dates for the camp. And just kind of circle back on that a little bit.
Right now, the dates are set up for July the 19th, 20th, and 21st. And I said yesterday we're probably going to have a fourth day. So it'll be the 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It'll be at the Newton County Fairground.
Okay.
On those days from 9 to 12.
Okay.
We're very, very, very interested in getting sponsorship as well, getting the word out, and getting 15 kids for the camp. If we get more than that, and we're flexible, we might have to do a second one
Right.
or something. But we want to make sure that we reach out as far as we can to those children that would benefit from this.
Okay.
One thing about horses, they tend to calm you down.
Right.
Very common effect, because they can sense your inner feelings
Right.
and everything. So you got to be pretty honest and everything, and kind of clear your mind and
Right.
everything when you're dealing with them and everything. So, and that's good. That's good.
So tell me this: if there's a business out here who's looking to sponsor an event like that, how do they go about doing that?
They can contact my office at 409-379-3636 and leave a message, and we will get in touch with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a big thing. I just think that it's something that, you know, I plan to donate money to this effort myself, my wife and I, and everything, because it's a worthwhile cause. We want these kids to have a memorable experience and an adventure as well.
Right.
In that, and so we're working behind the scenes to get this done and everything, and we would appreciate anyone who want to help out or in any capacity, because it's going to take a lot of us to put this on.
It's going to take a village to put it together.
Yeah,
right?
because this is going to be a Newton County effort.
Yeah.
And again, we're talking about Newton County, because we're reaching out for kids all over the county. It's
Right.
not just Newton.
Sure.
It's more to the county than Newton City, as I call it.
There you go.
And so we need those people in those areas to reach out and help. We're working on transportation. We're working on all the logistics
Sure.
that
Sure.
the general person don't see.
Right.
They just see this is where it's at. These are the times and everything. But there's a lot of hard-working folks behind the scene that's going to be helping out on this. And by me, when I talk about it, we had a meeting yesterday. Man, it's a good feeling. We stayed after the meeting for almost 45 minutes just talking about how it's going to be and some of the things we can do and everything, and
That's
reaching
cool.
out. So
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Are there any final things that you want to put out here to the people?
the folks, stay vigilant. Let's work together. I've seen, not just in Newton, I know COVID hit us, blindsided us. We had to change our lifestyle. This is one of the freest countries, and this is the freest country on the planet. There's a lot of civil liberties that we had to sort of curtail and not get a chance to enjoy socializing with one another was one of the things that we sort of curtailed, and it's been a couple of years now, and I think that a lot of us have gotten kind of just, I don't know, short with folks, and man, we got to look back and think about, hey, what can it's not what I'm getting out of it. What can I do to make it better for everybody?
Sure.
And everything. Not jump to conclusions.
Right.
And be so judgmental on one another. Now, again, if somebody's bothering you and hurting you,
right,
yeah, you do what you need to do. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But we tend to just be frustrated and just mad.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, and I think the lack of civility among, and it's not just here. It's almost like
right,
regionally.
Right.
It may even be nationwide.
Right.
You know, and I mean, it's just like this lack of civility and hair trigger element. There's a lot of those things going on, and to be honest with you, I mean, it really takes some intentional resetting of how you approach people to when you're going into a grocery store or whenever you're going into a convenience store or whatever, to just maintain cordialness, maintain civility, and lean on that before you lean on trying to rip somebody's head off, you know?
Yeah. I want to share something with you, personal. When I came here almost 10 years ago, my wife and I was amazed how friendly the people were. Everybody was start talking to you like you've been knowing you for years, and you're like, you know, coming from the city life, that was very foreign to us. And to get a little further, a friend of mine was here this past weekend, and he's got a place here now, and he was from the same area. And his wife said that, you know, you come here, people on the Brookshires and everything, they be talking to you like they've been knowing you. And I said, yeah, that's right. So Newton does have has it up on folks and being friendly and very a lot of hospitality, and it's something that it's those little things that people notice the most.
Right.
And everything. So we're still doing that to an extent.
It's still happening.
So it's still happening. And so I'm letting the public know that. And another thing too, I told a guy asked me the other day, he said, where are you from? And I told him, you know, right down the road. And I looked at him, I said, it's not where you're from, it's where you finish and how you finish.
That's right.
That's what's important.
There you go.
You know, so.
Yeah, that's good. Sheriff, we appreciate you taking time with us, man.
No problem, man.
We really appreciate it. Anytime we get to sit down with you, we want to thank you and thank the work that you guys are doing here in the community, and in the outreach part, man, is awesome. Matter of fact, once again, give out that number if there's a business out there that wants to sponsor that event. That can
409-379-3636. That'll come into dispatch, and you can leave a message. If I'm not here, they get a message to me, or Miss Vicky Hall will be taking calls during the day.
Okay.
But just call there and we'll reach out to you, because we're gonna need all the help we can get putting this together.
There you go.
It's just gonna, again, man, it just makes
excited
me feel
about
good inside when I talk about it. Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Not on the Payroll right here at 107.3 FM KJAS. Tune in each and every Thursday night, 7 o'clock, for religion and politics at Not on the Payroll.